I'm sorry. Was that your auntie? Oh, then that must mean that that's your uncle then, huh? Ugh, you know y'all all look alike.
Hail to the fellowship. We hope you guys are doing well today. I am your nerdy number reviewer, the Elven Barber, and joining me, as always, my co-host, the lore loyalist himself, TC, the Token Cripple. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, Barber. How are you?
I'm doing well. And we're those guys. Now, before we get into this episode, this Winchesters episode, we do ask that you smash that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, hit that bell for any notifications, and share this video out there. So this was episode 5 of the Winchesters. I think it's a 13 season episode. So we got a long ways here. We got a long ways. But and on the upside, it did not get renewed for season 2. On the upside.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God indeed.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Jensen. Sorry, Jensen. I feel bad for you, but everybody else.
Yeah, we're sorry, Mr. Ackles. We really are. But at the same time, we watched this fucking show, so we just knew. We knew it wasn't going anywhere.
We knew why it was canceled.
Yeah. So this show, it opens up. We got a councilman running. He's running for his life. He's scared. Doesn't know somebody's chasing him. Come to find out, he's dreaming. And then he dies. Which I started laughing at immediately. I don't...
The funny thing, what I found funny was the total non-reaction of the secretary. He's like screaming and falling to his knees as he's dying, and she doesn't give a crap. She's a counselor?
Yeah, she just doesn't emote any emotions at all. Her face is just like, oh, what? What's going on? Like, bitch, his brains is turning to mush. He's dying. He's dying.
He's dying and screaming in pain. And you're just like, counselor? No, like, holy shit, call 911. Like,
someone please call 911. Yeah.
Please think of the children.
Then we shift. We shift to Soy Boy John in the garage with Mary. I think he's okay. He's working on
her how to do his bike.
Right. He's mansplaining to her. He's not even mansplaining. He's teaching her how to do something that she already knows how to do. She already knows, but doesn't tell him. She lets him proceed to embarrass himself. And then at the end, she's like, "Yeah, like I already knew. I didn't want to rain on your parade."
But if she wanted to have a discussion with him and wanted him to feel good about himself, why not ask him questions like, "Oh, what sort of engine are you running? Where did you get the parts?" Or I don't know. You can engage in a way that doesn't make him look stupid and still shows you're interested in what he has to say.
Exactly. She could have said, "Oh, are those OE original manufacturing parts?" Like she could have said something that we would have been like, "Oh, so you know a lot about," and then they could have just got into it then instead of her like having him go through this whole thing and then she's like, "Oh, I already know." Like,
and then she patronizes him by saying, "Oh, what's this part? Oh, it's the front wheel." And you already know that. Why is he such a bitch? She's such
a bitch to him. Why does he like her? Like I don't understand why she's so insufferable. I don't know why he likes her at all. Oh my god. Then he proceeds to go and sulk because she's like talking about her life after hunting and what she wants to do, and he just wants to be a part of her life. Obviously, he doesn't tell her this because he's a bitch. So he goes and leaves and goes talk and sulks to his mom, and she's got bigger balls than him because she's like, "You gotta talk to her. You gotta go talk to her."
Oh, and she does the classic Mary Sue of I like her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why does this show take place in Lawrence, Kansas, where they end up living when they have every good reason to get the fuck out of Dodge? Yeah, I'd run.
Yeah, I'll fucking run too.
Like, they even talk about getting out of Dodge.
Yeah. I would
That would be
fucking...
where I would raise my kids. I get as far away from there.
far away as possible, right? Like, that's... Oh, my God. So, I don't even... What happens... I don't even remember what happens next. You remember what happens next? I know... She ends up finding the article about what happened to the councilman. And she's like, oh, this could be our next case. Blah, blah, blah.
And Carlos is like, no, don't do that. We have more important fish to fry.
Oh, right. That's like the one time where I actually agreed with Carlos is when Mary was like, we got to do this lead. And he's like, I'm pretty sure we have this fucking Akrita to worry about. Like, this fucking... who's like, we can't... And she's like, no. He's like, yeah. Let's take a vote. And of course, everybody votes for Mary because she's awesome.
The plot ends up affirming her by saying, "Oh, it was involved already. It was already a thing."
Right. Because that's how great Mary is. It was just all connected. Just there's something about Mary. So it's
there's something about Mary and Slave Lady John.
Oh my gosh! So then they end up going to. So I know they ended up talking to the councilman's secretary. I don't know what the hell they posed as other than constituents. I don't know what they were going for.
I think they were just like, they were supposed to be just really big fans of his political style. I think they were supposed to be students.
Okay, because I feel like his secretary was giving them a lot of information, like for people just coming off the street.
This is the same woman who's like, "You okay?" as he's screaming and
that's true.
Dying painfully.
She isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. You're right about that. So just based off of this secretary's example of what happened that evening or her experience, they've already concluded, oh, it's a djinn. It's a djinn. They've already concluded this.
Granted, I don't remember too much about the djinn specifically, but I don't think that's how djinn work.
I also didn't think that's how djinn worked either. Yeah,
I remember they originally they drained people of blood because they had the people hanging like slabs of meat in a warehouse, and they gave Dean happy flumps, and then they brought in Jim later that gave you sad or scary flumps. Now all of a sudden they can just project that shit and feed from a distance.
Apparently they can do that.
Okay.
Apparently. So all their research and clubhouse bullshit leads them to a warehouse because,
It still annoys me to call it the clubhouse. That's going to be for the whole season.
Well, yeah. And they're like, oh, this got to be here and then this warehouse. Oh, no. And then something's in there and they're chasing it. And then we get a glimpse of who it is. And of course,
and it's a random POC kid who can apparently jump over fence.
Yeah, random POC kid, dude.
I didn't know Jin could super jump.
Okay, first of all, he's black, so he's got hops. All right, so black people got hops. They got hops, so this kid, he's like, wow. So of course he's a djinn with hops. That's what I thought. But of course he's the son of the one character Ada, because they both look at each other with this slow motion glance, like, oh, Ada. I know you. Oh, I know you too. And then the next scene we just get exposition by her about literally it was just a huge waste of fucking time.
How she was scared of him, and he, like every other man in this show, walked out.
Yeah. Their portrayal of a black family in this one wasn't great. Wasn't great. Wasn't great at all.
apparently he romanced her, but was overcome by his need to feed on whatever fruit juice can feed off of, I guess.
And then
He
she
was
just
trying to feed. He was trying to help people who were having psychological issues by going into their dreams and helping them work through it, I guess.
the
That's my
son,
understanding.
yeah, her son was doing that, was helping people. The dad, the because you know he's evil and he's a man, got too obsessed with people's dreams and needed to be put down.
Yep, because toxic. Wait a minute, he's black. Can he be toxic and black?
Oh, according to them, yeah. According to them, like I said, black family in this show not looking great. Not looking great. Let's see. From there, she has a conversation. They disperse.
Oh, and John does the toxic. Oh, he's a djinn. We have to put him down.
Oh, right, John.
That actually is somewhat consistent with John Winchester, almost a little bit. If it weren't for the fact that I'm almost certain it was because toxic white male, I would have been like, yeah, that actually fits.
Yeah, that was kind of in character of him because he's like all about gotta put it down, gotta put it down. And she's like, oh, maybe I can talk to him. I can Ada, his mom, Ada. Oh, I can talk to him. Maybe I can change him. This is before they knew he wasn't a bad man.
Yeah, and then they also brought up the fact that they managed to put a demon in a bonsai tree. They brought that up again.
Yeah, for what reason? I don't know.
Again, fuck Sam and Dean. They don't know how to do that shit. Yeah, John, don't teach them how to do that.
Yeah, don't teach them how to do that. Them bringing it up again just tells me that they're gonna fucking put another demon in something ridiculous in the coming episodes. Like I have a feeling,
or that freaking bonsai tree is gonna break or something, and it's gonna be released and do flump. Again, Sam was trained by Rowena, who was supposed to be like a badass witch, and he was pretty much her disciple, kind of sort of.
Yeah, I mean, he was
so like her. Do this shit, but
yeah, Sam was Rowena's protege. She taught him pretty much all the magical things, are the things that he needed. I mean, putting a demon in a bonsai would have been pretty practical.
Needed him to know.
Exactly. Oh God. So they end up getting the son, Ada's son, to talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't do it, but I do know with the thing in him. It's what it's going. It's because it's the Akrita. We know who it's going for." And so they end up finding this guy, and this guy's in a warehouse, and then they get to the warehouse. Well, of course, Mary. It's like, you guys go this way, we'll go that way, because it's girl boss. They get inside. Face this Akrita looking fucking thing that looks like something out of Predator or fucking Men in Black.
Men in Black. Is that your auntie?
Is that your auntie? Oops. You don't matter. About 52 seconds won't even matter.
I love that movie.
Oh, dude, Men in Black shot. I love that shit too. So yeah, this Men in Black type creature leaps at the guy that's trying to go after and ends up biting Mary instead because she throws herself in front. Not John. Of course, John doesn't throw himself in front of the guy. It's Mary. Yeah. She has to throw herself in front of the monster, so to speak, get bit, and then she proceeds to. You okay?
Yeah, my leg was just slumpy.
I'll edit that out. Then Mary proceeds to. Oh, you're fine. Then Mary proceeds to get ill or become ill, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And John sees the bite marks on her neck. This is what this. Go ahead.
I'm genuinely confused though, because they act like, oh, it's brainwashing tism bullshit. But then it clearly is trying to kill her, and it clearly killed Counselorman, but it killed the Counselorman over a week of constant nightmares and then being brainwashed. But it kills Mary almost instantly. And then they try and they try and do like psychic surgery, but they don't actually get rid of the actual stingers in their fucking body.
Yeah, the whole stingers in the body, gotta destroy them, gotta find them. I'm like, what is the fuck is going on here? Like, what? There's stingers now, not even metaphorically, like there's literal stingers in her dreams, like.
But for some reason, they won't exit unless she takes care of them in her dream. Wouldn't it have made more sense if she took care of them in her dream and that didn't solve the problem, so they help solve her issue afterward?
Yeah,
But
that would.
And then when they destroy them, they never actually take the fucking stingers out.
They don't. They just break them and then leave them. Because they're supposed to find the stingers because it's like based off a real traumatic experience. They hide in a real traumatic experience of her life. So when it came, honest to God, before the scene came into play, I'm like, oh, something happened to her when she was young. Maybe she was attacked by a demon. Maybe she saw someone getting attacked by a demon. Like just anything to that scenario. Nope. What it was is her parents just telling her about them, and she's just in the bed holding a knife.
Because at the age of 5, which is totally repurposing. When I told Dad I was thinking my closet, he's 8 years old. Now Mary has to be better and more awesome. So she knows the age of 5.
Say that you like broke up that entire time.
They literally repurposed from the pilot of Supernatural.
Oh yeah, from the
Because when I told Dad I was scared of the thing in my closet, he gave me a 45.
Yep.
Well, what was he supposed to do? You know what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
I was 9 years old, and then of course this fucking show had to make her find out about the supernaturalisms at an earlier age, and she had to talk her little young self out of being afraid or into being afraid, but courage is only rooted in because you can only be courageous if you're afraid. I wouldn't find that comforting as a 5-year-old.
Don't be afraid.
I find comforting. I will keep you safe.
Yeah, essentially, don't be afraid. We're awesome. You're Mary. I'm Mary. We're fucking great. We're fucking awesome. We're girl bosses. We're gonna run this shit. Don't worry about it.
And I just don't understand.
Oh,
I would not find that comforting as a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I would.
I'm a girl boss, so
exactly. So you can't relate. You can't relate. And then she ends up getting better because they break her the fucking fangs or whatever. And they're in the room and they're like, oh my God. Oh, we get to the radio station with the Akrita lady, and her henchman comes in and he's like, oh, so did he say that they failed at taking control of Mary or killing Mary? Do you remember?
It was something like they're getting in the way.
Okay.
And they established literally in the next fucking scene, they're like, oh yeah, they want us to kill strange monsters because it uses their essence somehow.
Yes.
So because they're actually doing the things work for it.
It's like, so we're doing
what side do you pick a lane and stick to it. Come on.
Yeah, whose side are you fucking working on? The Agreements are married. It's like, what the fuck? Oh God. So they're
either getting in the way or helping. Which is it? Tell me.
So they're all in the fucking bunker, and they're all, oh my, like how is this person getting this out here? What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. Do you remember who figured out it was actually radio waves and who said it was a radio station? Was it Mary? I don't know who figured that part out.
I don't remember. It's been a couple days.
It might have been all of them who kind of came to that conclusion that it was the person on the radio, actually. But
which makes sense because The son said he heard a weird sound, and that's what drew him.
Yeah, that's what drew him there.
there.
And then, that's. Am I missing anything else? That was a fucking episode.
See, but there's one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Random son that will never be seen or mentioned again. I'm almost sure of it. Was talking to Lata like they had a thing this entire episode. I'm like, were you guys even on screen together more than 5 seconds?
Yeah,
they had this romantic thing, and it's like I don't even know if they had screen time together.
They really didn't. Like this, I think whatever they have, I guess supposedly happened off screen, because the only thing we got at the end was a few glances here and there, and him saying, "Oh, can I write you?" Like that's it. That's I don't know. He might be.
But we have nothing. There's nothing there because they literally didn't. They weren't on screen together for more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's throwing in modern viewpoints into an otherwise 60s related show. It's like that's not how people act back then. Now, yeah, that's how people. They, back then it was
blink an eye.
Back then it was much slower. I should say the pace, much slower pace.
Also, he says, "I need to go somewhere quiet." How does he have any concept of anywhere he could go that would be out of this thing's range?
I no idea.
And why is he going in a car? My ass would go, if I really thought running would help, I would go out of the country.
Yeah.
And not through Canada either. I would go...
No, somewhere, you gotta go somewhere remote. Somewhere remote.
Some random place maybe in Scotland, like the wildernesses of Scotland or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a random place, but...
Somewhere far, at least.
I mean, we have no idea where he was before this, and it clearly was able to draw him to this town. So what makes him think he's out if there's any particular range?
Because
we don't have satellite radio, so it's not like the signal would have gotten that far.
The plot says that range isn't going to hit him now until it needs to, if it ever does.
if he's ever mentioned again.
If he's ever mentioned again. So, God, this show, like, it just breaks so much lore. It's ridiculous.
It's getting worse.
It is getting worse. It is getting worse. Oh, and then I did glance over the bike that John's dad, no, that mom got John's dad as a gift
before he walked away.
Yeah, and I like how they had to point that out too. It's like, oh yeah, she got him this really nice gift, and he had to walk away because he's a toxic male.
And I want to point out he's being killed in 2013 right now.
Yeah, exactly. So this really special bike that he's working on, that was a gift from his mom to his dad that you think he'd want to take care of and keep for himself. He's giving it to Mary. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Also, it's also implied because they mentioned the previous case with the toxic white veteran. They mentioned that this case was just recent, which means that this is relatively real time, which means they've known each other for maybe 5 weeks.
Yeah, tops. Bitch is already getting a motorcycle.
Oh my god! The show, man. The show.
It's like a car wreck, It's like you want to turn away, but you're like, man, what the fuck else can they do? What are they gonna do next?
Don't ask that question. It's gonna be worse.
No, it's
however bad you think it will be, it'll be worse.
It's definitely gonna be worse. Yeah. Long story short, probably giving this episode a 1 overall rating, 1 out of 10. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah, I give it a 1. Again, they make that they have the two of them give each other doe eyes, and it's like you literally have no screen time. Like we have no idea.
I have a feeling too By the way, my only one reason why I gave it a 1 is because Carlos was kind of going against her when she was like giving out a command that was fucking dumb.
But then it turns out she's right because
well, yeah, it was all connected because something about Mary. I have a feeling that they're gonna bring back reporter dude. He's gonna get brought back into this. It's gonna be a whole thing, and it's gonna be cringe as fuck. It is.
Yeah, it will. I'm sure.
That's
all I've got to say.
All right, well, that's all I gotta say too. We thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us rant about episode 5 of the Winchesters. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys are watching the show, if we missed anything or if we got something wrong, definitely let us know. But definitely please subscribe, hit that like button, share this video out there. You guys stay tuned and have a great day.